Oh my goodness. Hello, guys. Last thing I forgot to do. Let me do this real quick so we can have a real production here. Hey guys, CryptoDad here. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream. Live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the news. We'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. So thank you for joining me. I'm back. Pardon me, haven't done my broadcast voice in almost 2 weeks now. Well, it's been 2 weeks, right? Exactly. So I took a trip to New York with my family. I'll talk about that. I'll tell you where we went and what we did and some of the things that I encountered in New York that are pretty interesting for a Michigander. So we didn't do the live stream last week, but I'm back. And we're going to talk about the market. Bitcoin has been pretty resilient considering the gyrations that are going on in the regular markets, the stock markets, the bond markets, the currency markets, all that stuff. Bitcoin did fall with a lot along with the other markets with the uncertainty going on, but seems like it has found its footing. So we'll talk about that. And then I want to talk tonight about doing restores. A lot of people, when they think about a crypto wallet, they think of it as just this permanent storage that they never have to worry about again. And they buy a hardware wallet, they put crypto in there, and then they take the hardware wallet and stick it in a safe thinking that it's good forever, right? For, your ancestors can pull it out and it'll be fine. Well, it's a good way to think of crypto as safe and secure, but that's really not a good way to think about a crypto wallet. Now, the seed phrase is permanent, your 24-word seed phrase, but the wallet itself is pretty much useless if you don't know how to manage your crypto. I've talked about this many times. I get blue in the face talking about this. But a lot of people pull out an old device, and now that ledger devices have been around for 10 years now, I'm getting a lot of comments and questions from people that have decided to access their crypto that they had stored on an old ledger, Nano X. That's usually the most common one that people bought back in the day. And then when they go to restore, because the device is worn out, or not functioning properly for whatever reason, because it really wasn't meant to last forever. It's an electronic device, just like any device you might buy. It's going to wear out eventually. So when they go to restore, they end up not being able to do it because the device tells them their seed phrase is invalid. Now, this could be for a number of reasons. A couple of them are, in writing it down. You wrote it down incorrectly. If you wrote it down incorrectly, you're in trouble, but there's hope, right? We'll talk about that. But a lot of times people, as they're doing the restore, fat finger it, as I would say. And we'll talk about how that can happen as well. When you're doing a restore on a new device like a Ledger Nano X, or maybe you bought a Ledger Nano S Plus, or even a Stax or a Flex, as you're punching in letters, you're presented with a list of words that are possible words. So as you type in the first 3 letters, it says, oh, it must be one of these 5 words. And so you get an interface that shows you a list of words. Well, a lot of people might accidentally click on one of the wrong words and not realize it. And that might be kind of, something that could be improved on the restore interface. Like, hey, is your word fish? Yes or no, and then you click confirm. But it doesn't. It says as soon as you see the word and you click on it, it disappears and it asks you for the next word. So we'll talk about that. And hopefully some of you out there that are having this issue might be able to take heart or figure out what you did wrong with some of these tips and tricks I'll talk about tonight. So let's go into our greeting. I want to thank everyone that's here tonight. Let's switch over to the right monitor. I just got back I just flew in from New York, and boy, are my arms tired. So I'm just getting things straightened out here. Let's go, where are we going here? Yeah, let's go over here, say hello, and thank you to everyone that is here tonight. Wayne Tyler was here early, along with Kenny, Mr. Miski, and Mark Schlossberg from Slovakia. Hydro is here. I think he was here early. Simona Mulin, Drew A. Gladiator said he was fourth. Okay, that's cool. I'm glad to see everyone happy to be here. Simon is here giving out memberships. Good for you, Simon. Thank you so much. Let's see. Joseph is here. Good to have you back. Dustin and Shadow gifted a membership over to Psychedelic Astronaut. Isn't that cool? Bobby. HR by Catherine, Hans Hannah 350. Paul from Quincy, Massachusetts. Good to have you here, Paul. Amsterdam, Holland, Pample. I don't believe I've seen you before. Good to have you here. Emmanuel, always a pleasure. Drew A. T-Rock. Good to be back. Thank you. Joseph, throwing in a little donation. Thank you for being here, Joseph. Always a pleasure. Another man's point of view, Ampov. Good to have everyone back. So if you've never been in the stream before, there's a lot of good stuff in the description and stuff we're going to talk about, things we're going to do. My latest video was before I left on vacation. I posted this one about the Engrave. They sent me an Engrave combo. Wonderful people over there at Engrave. And the Engrave combo came with this commemorative Bitcoin $100,000 card, right? It says it commemorates the day that Bitcoin broke 100,000, which was December 5th, 2024. It's not made of gold, and it's not a wallet. It's just a commemorative card, but it's really cool, and it's a symbol of the Bitcoin community's resilience and Bitcoin's resilience. I really like this card. I think it's cool. The Engrave combo is an awesome wallet, one of the most secure air gap wallets you can get. And I think one of the most awesome interfaces. Air gap cards are difficult to use, and a lot of them have tiny little screens, not very well, not very easy to see, that sort of thing. Engrave is about the size of an iPhone, beautiful touch screen. A great wallet. So I made this for them because of the card and because they were nice enough to send me one of these commemorative cards. There is a link in this video if you want to try and get one. There were only 100 out there, so they may be sold out by now. It's been about a week since I did this video. But that was the last video I did. Didn't do any videos while I was out of town. There is a personalized page now for the CryptoDad for Ledger devices, and their spring sale is over. But whenever you use my personalized landing page with this little link I've got here, it takes you over, and all of the Ledger devices, the top 4 crypto wallets, if you use my link, you'll get that $10 in free Bitcoin rebate. So it's a permanent discount code for my loyal followers and anyone who wants to support me and support the channel and follow my link to get a great deal. Now, of course, this page gets updated whenever there's a sale. So don't worry, you're not going to miss out on any sales. When the spring sale was going on, this page led to links where it showed you you were going to get $70 worth of Bitcoin when you bought the Flex, and so the deals update. Beautiful page. I'm really happy with Ledger. been working with them for a long time. It's a great wallet, and we'll do some Ledger stuff tonight. And then also some other wallets like Tangem, Trezor Safe 5, all great wallets depending on your needs, your budget, your level of expertise, all that stuff. So if you follow my channel, you'll know that I don't push one particular wallet. I try to just present the information to you. So OneKey also, there's a link here for OneKey and some backup solutions. We're going to be talking about doing restores, so having a good, durable medium for storing your backup phrase is paramount when dealing with cryptocurrency. Scrilla probably has a new video out. I think he does. Pretty sure, because I saw a couple of YouTube alerts that he posted new videos since I threw this link up. But this is a call out to Scrilla and his beginner's guide to cold wallets. So check out his channel. He also specializes in crypto custody and the stories that we're going to cover tonight and ways to get a hold of me. So let's jump into the news. Let's cover that. And then as soon as we're done with the news, I want to start a Bitcoin transfer, and then I'll get to questions and we'll do that restore stuff. So first news story. Bitcoin holds at 82,000 as US dollar falls to 3-year low. Well, actually right now we're at 85, if I'm not mistaken. Doggone it, I hate this little scroll thing. But let's see. Okay, here we go. Bitcoin is at 85.4. So Bitcoin's doing very well. Let's see if we can get back to that news story. Developing bull market signals could continue to boost Bitcoin prices despite the tense atmosphere of the U.S. trade war. Bitcoin now at 85.4 sought higher levels around April 11th. Here we are at April 12th, even higher. Things look good. Bitcoin has recovered significantly. It was down, if I recall, taking a look at it last week, was around, I think the low I saw was around 75,000. I could be wrong, but I know it was down there around 77 or 76,000. So back to 85 is a good bounce as far as I'm concerned. So crypto market back in swing again, found its footing, as they say. And thanks, Kenny, for all the news stories. They really helped me this week as we just got back yesterday. Crypto market rebounds as Donald Trump exempts tech from tariffs on China. That helped even more when he exempted the big tech items like computers and servers and smartphones and stuff like that from the tariffs. So that was a big development that helped the crypto market bounce up a little bit. Let's see. The U.S. Senate bill threatens crypto AI data centers with fees. So they are still bagging on Bitcoin for being for using electricity, basically, for using a lot of electricity. These are tired old arguments as far as I'm concerned. Almost everything in the world uses electricity. So to single something out as saying you're bad for the environment because you use too much electricity. I had someone that came into a comment section last week. I didn't do much with the YouTube channel, but I did respond to a few comments, and somebody was saying, oh, Bitcoin's bad for the environment. Mining Bitcoin uses, I forget what his comparison was, or something about using up as much as a small city. I don't know what it was, but I came back with, hey, Bitcoin, I I can't talk. I turned the argument around on him and took exactly what he said, but instead of Bitcoin, I put US dollar. And I said, oh yeah, that's right. The US dollar is bad for the environment. I used all his points, and basically was just saying that the US dollar uses more energy than Bitcoin. When you think about all of the energy required to print dollars and circulate them into the economy and get them to banks using armored vehicles and all of these buildings that are required to maintain the US dollar system, all the banks, all the people that work at banks, all of the power required to heat and light all of those buildings. When you think about the US dollar and the current system that we have, you can say that its carbon footprint is much bigger than Bitcoin. But anyway, I'm off on my rant again. This is a bill that they passed to penalize data centers and Bitcoin mining companies. Well, you know, it was Bitcoin mining companies that were getting the brunt of this narrative that, hey, that's bad for the environment. And then suddenly, you know, AI came along on the scene and they need massive data centers. And now all of a sudden we've got a new culprit, you know, are attacking our environment and destroying the world, are, you know, these AI data centers. So Congress, in their wisdom, have, led by the Democrats, have passed a bill, or they're trying to pass a bill called the Clean Cloud Act, mandating the Environmental Protection Agency to set emission performance standards for data centers and crypto mining facilities. It's probably not going to pass. This is a tweet from Matthew Seigel. Dems double down on losing blame the servers rack strategy. New bill from Senators Fetterman and Whitehouse would hit AI and crypto data centers with fees if they exceed regional emission averages. Basically just attacking these industries for their energy use. So anyway, Bitcoin and AI have converged now, and they're getting the brunt of the criticism for basically using energy. But good news is that Trump has, well, it says Trump killed. All he did was sign the law. It was a resolution passed by both houses of Congress, but he did deal the death blow by signing the bill, which, who knows, maybe Biden would have vetoed it. I think there was some earlier during Biden's administration, there was some talk of overruling some SEC rules that were both houses of Congress were going to pass, but Biden threatened to sue, or I'm sorry, not sue, but veto. But yeah, so Trump signed this law, and it was a rule that was going to go into effect in 2026 that required DeFi protocols, you know, to report all kinds of things about people that made money on DeFi, or, you know, crypto sales that went on in DeFi, and to somehow identify the people that were logging in using their wallets. It would have been a real headache, a real mess, for not only for the end user, but for the IRS to keep track of all this. And it was a stifle to DeFi innovation. And so they passed the law blocking this rule from going into effect. So that's good news for all of you DeFi fans out there. Also, a kind of a bit of, I don't know, he said, she said stuff. There was a story in the New York Times that claimed that Zheng Xiaoping was going to testify against Justin Sun, of the CEO of Tron, of some kind of criminal behavior, and that was undisclosed in all of this. And CZ came back and said, yeah, there was no truth to this story whatsoever. He pointed out that he served time and Justin Sun did not. And usually when you testify against someone, you know, that's for you to get out of jail time, and the other person gets prosecuted, and that didn't happen. So basically, he's kind of debunking the New York Times story. Interesting. Okay, and here's Justin's son coming in. They always try to use rumors to drive us apart, to divide us instead of unite us. Crypto is already a small place. Only by standing together can we change everything. We need every single one of your votes. Just kind of an interesting story. And that's, I think, the news. I didn't want to spend too much time on the news. What I'd like to dive into now is I'm going to consolidate some crypto. So I wanted to get this transfer started early. So here we go. This is my ledger live. And as I've told you many times, I manage more than one device in my account. I have a ledger Stax and I have a ledger Flex. And I know the crypto does not get stored on the device, but what we're going to do is I've got some Bitcoin being managed by my Flex, and I have some Bitcoin being managed by my Stax. I'd like to take the Bitcoin that's being managed on my Flex and move it over to the wallet that's being managed by the Stax. These are just the keys to the wallet, right? They're very fancy keys, so to speak. If you look in my portfolio, you can see that I have a total Bitcoin amount of 0.1231 here in Ledger Live. And if we dive down into there, we can see that consists of two actual accounts. So I have Bitcoin Stax and I have Bitcoin Flex. So what I would like to do is take the Bitcoin that's in Flex and throw it into Stax, right? We want to consolidate all the Bitcoin into one account in, this particular copy of Ledger Live. So how do we do that? How do we move Bitcoin from one wallet to another and then deal with the fact that they're being managed by different devices? Well, the first thing we need is our destination, right? Before we can move Bitcoin, we kind of need to know where we're going to move it, right? We need that receiving address. So the first thing I'll do is go into the destination account, right? This is the account where I want to move the Bitcoin into. So we'll hit receive and we'll hit continue and we'll go ahead and do the hardware check. So I'm going to connect my device and with my USB cable and enter my PIN. All right, and let's see how this camera 2's doing. Oh, that's overhead. Hey everybody, I got this camera working again, at least for now. It is kind of this camera's kind of on, I've had it for a while. But anyway, no, I want this camera. And that seems to be working. Yeah, that was working great. Just going to move this over here. Just going to move, just so you can see what I'm doing here. We're going to open the Bitcoin app. And now that the Bitcoin app is open, it's going to show me the Bitcoin address, right? So, let me just disconnect my mouse so I can come over here. There's the Bitcoin address. This is the hardware check, right? So we're verifying that this account, see, and there's the address on my screen. So we want to just eyeball it and make sure that that's the same address. I'm going to copy that address into my clipboard. And so, and then we can go back here and, okay, now we see it. We'll hit confirm. And that's the hardware check. Right? So the hardware check has just confirmed that this account is a match, right? So we'll go over here. You always want to do this because sometimes things get screwed up. You set up an account and then you reset your device and then you set it up with a new seed phrase and then you have this account that's in Ledger Live that you don't have access to anymore. And I had a wonderful guy who was dumping XRP into an account for years that he did not have access to because he had done a reset. And then when he tried to move the XRP, he couldn't get it because I helped him out. We figured it out. We figured out the seed phrase, the original seed phrase. But that's why we do the hardware check, right? Now that we have this address in our clipboard, let's go back to the account that we want to send from. That's Bitcoin Flex. So we'll go into there. We'll do the send. The first thing it asks me is, where do you want to send it? That's why we needed to get that address first. So we'll hit paste, and that's the address we're sending to. We'll hit continue. Now it needs to know how much I want to send. I'm going to go ahead and send it all. And you can see here that the network fee is $1.37. It's not bad. We'll hit continue. We'll hit continue once more. And what's going to happen? It's going to tell me something went wrong. Why did something go wrong? Because I still have the original device attached. I have the destination wallet attached. I need the sending wallet attached, right? Or the sending private key. So let's go back over here. Let's disconnect this guy. Right? And then we'll connect this one. We'll go ahead and enter the PIN. Right? This is the wallet we're sending from. Well, what's going to happen? Oh, I need to retry. So let me show you what's going on over here. I need to go ahead and hit retry. All right. And now it wants me to open the Bitcoin app on the device. So I'll hit open. And now I'm going to get the send interface. Right? It's going to ask me to authorize the transaction. This is the sending wallet. Right? You can see that here. You can see over here it's asking me to sign the transaction. We can swipe here. There's that sending address, right? That's the address that I'm sending to. That's the one we just confirmed, right? And then I click hold to sign, and off it goes. Or did it go? Let's try it again. Well, okay, there. Didn't take the first time. Okay. And then we can see what's going on over here. Sending, off it goes. And then we're done. Let's go back over to this other scene. We call them scenes. There we go. Yeah, so we can see what happened here. We can hit view details. We can see that I sent it out with a small fee. And this went to 0 pretty quickly. Let's go back over here and see what happened here. And we got it, right? So it says, shows that it was received, 0.03 Bitcoin. And now we've consolidated all our Bitcoin into one wallet, right, on one device. Also, notice that it's orange here. It says not confirmed. That means that it hasn't confirmed on the blockchain. Does not mean that it's not in the wallet. It just means that I can't send it out. So if I were to try to send out, let's see, let's just say, just for the heck of it, that I was going to send back to the Flex, right? I just need an address, right? I'm not going to do the hardware check just because I'm not actually going to go through with the entire send. I'm just going to show you that when we do the send, see, it tells me I have an incoming transaction that hasn't processed, right? So it shows that the maximum spendable amount is still 0.0928 Bitcoin, right? It's not the full amount of the wallet. That's because this 0.030 is still unspendable. Has to confirm on the blockchain before it's become spendable. But that's it, right? It was pretty easy, but you just have to sort of manage the devices and realize which device needs to be connected at the right time. Let's go back over here. Let me see if I can get this camera straightened out here. Is this going to work? Yeah, it did. At that time, it worked. So I got my Statue of Liberty t-shirt on that I got in New York. We had a great time in New York. So kind of let me show you some of the stuff since you guys are the regulars here. Where are we here? Let's live scene. Okay, what do I have for you guys? Okay, so we drove to New York. We drove from Michigan. We stayed in Youngstown, Ohio, the first night, and then on the second night, second day, we made it to New York. These are all the flags of the places that I wanted to go, and we got to most of them, right? So this is where we stayed the first night at the Comfort Inn in Queens. Now, the reason we decided to stay in Queens in Elmhurst is because that's Little Indonesia. My wife is from Indonesia, and we wanted to get, authentic Indonesian food in New York. There are really no Indonesian restaurants to speak of in Michigan, if you can believe that. Nothing really in Grand Rapids, and there's a place in Kalamazoo that's pretty decent, and there's like one place in Detroit that we went to that was okay as well. So we went to these restaurants over here on the very first night that we came in, and then we went to this grocery store. We went to this grocery store, got some stuff, and then we went to this restaurant the next night, and it was great, all right? And let's see, the first day, what we did was we reserved, I have an app called Spot Hero. We reserved parking in Manhattan the first day. I reserved a spot from 10:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. for $44. And so we parked down here by One World Trade Center. We went to One World Trade Center, and then we took an Uber to some clothing stores that my daughter wanted to see, and we bought some clothes. And we didn't make it to the Creperie, unfortunately, but we did go to Lombardi's Pizza and got the very first pizzeria in the United States, apparently. Really good pizza. We walked around. We went to Little Italy. We went to the Tenement Museum, but we didn't have time for the tour. And the Uber is expensive. And then we went back, and then the next day, I think the next day, we decided to go in and drive, and that was crazy. So we drove around for a while. I'm sorry. The second day we went to Coney Island. We went down to Coney Island. There was nothing going on down there, but we went to Nathan's Famous and got some hot dogs. That was great. And I think it was the third day we Ubered around. So the thing about traveling in New York is it's very expensive. An Uber from the hotel down to Trade Center 1 would have been like $78 one way. So that's why we reserved the parking space. But then we Ubered around. We went to Midtown. We went to the Flatiron Building. Let's see. We went to the Empire State Building. We went to Rockefeller Center. We went to Central Park. So yeah, I mean, the Uber thing was, first we thought, okay, Uber's great. But then we had trouble like getting the Uber drivers to find us. We weren't standing in the right spot. They canceled on us. So Uber is not flawless. And then, so we thought, I think it was the fourth day, I was like, okay, I think I got this down now. I'm just going to reserve spots. So we went around reserving spots for like $20, which worked well in Central Park. We parked at a place for $20, and then we wanted to go to the Empire State Building and park there and look around. We got to the spot, and the guy was like, we're full. I was like, yeah, but I have a reservation. He's like, yeah, but we're full. So even the parking thing didn't work very well. These tunnels to get back and forth, between Manhattan and New Jersey are like $20 toll just to get through the damn tunnel. But still, we had a great time. We ended up staying in Manhattan at the Holiday Inn in Midtown. So we could we walk around downtown. We drove to Liberty State Park and took the ferry out to the Statue of Liberty. So we did all that great stuff. There we are at the Statue of Liberty. There I am at the Flatiron Building. That's the rest of my family. They're doing some kind of construction. Let's see. There we are. There they are at Central Park. I was taking the picture, of course. And of all the places we went in New York, I think my daughter's favorite places were the clothing stores. I'm not sure. My wife loved Times Square. And my son was really happy that they had Raising Cane's chicken in Times Square. That was like his favorite meal that we had the whole time. It's really good if you've never had it. We went there when we were in Nashville for Bitcoin Nashville last year. And so we went to Raising Cane's. Had a lot of great food in New York, great Indonesian food, great comfort food, Japanese. We ate Japanese one night. It's just a wonderful place, and I didn't do much with the YouTube channel the whole time. But that was fun. We had a great time. So there we go. That was fun. Let me get caught up on. Let's see. I think that was pretty much it as far as that goes. I'm just going to do a refresh here. Yeah, it's going to be a while before this actually confirms. I have one eye on the stream and the other on the Masters. Kenny is an avid golf fan. Dan's here. Thank you for being here. Dan, welcome back. Thank you, Kenny. I'm glad to be back. How long does the free Bitcoin rebate take to hit my wallet? Could be 30 days. I did a video on that, actually. Actually, I think that was a more recent video, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, here it is. I did a video on how to claim your Bitcoin from the sale, the spring sale. They sent me a couple of these cards that you can get if you use my link, some $10 claim cards. But you have to go in. First, you have to verify your card using your Ethereum wallet. And then once you've done that, there is a, you have to wait to claim it, right? So if we go into Discover, I think it's, it's over in the referral section. I need to sign in. Let me see I'm not sure which account I used. So, I'm pretty sure I used my Stax, but let me connect my Stax. And if I didn't use my Stax, we'll connect my Flex. Okay, I've got the Stax connected. I'm in the Ethereum app, and then I'll hit sign in. Ethereum Flex 2, it looks like that was the one. Let's see there. Oops. Okay. Oh, that's Flex. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Let's try my Flex. I think that was the one that I did the claims on. I don't know why I chose the Flex. Or I didn't. I might have to go back and forth here. So I'm going to enter the PIN on that. Okay, I gotta get out of Bitcoin, go into Ethereum. All right, I'm in Ethereum. Let's hit retry. It wants me to sign the message. Okay, I'm going to do that to get into my referral account. Hold to sign. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is not the one, right? Because it's empty. So let me disconnect. Hey, it's just process of elimination, right? I've only got 2 devices. How do I get out of this? No, 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 no. Let's just do that. Let's try this again. Oh, this is, I think I may have had it. See, I don't know how to get out. How do you sign out? I guess I can't do this. See, I wasn't planning on doing this, so that's what happens. Okay. Where can I get out? Okay. Ugh, yeah. I need to sign into a different wallet, but I don't know how to get out of this. No, I don't want to really delete my account. I just want to get out of this. Anybody know? Let's hit refresh. No. Doggone it. Doggone it. I don't want to delete it. I just want to get out and move to a different Ethereum wallet. Here, maybe if I quit Ledger Live and go back in. Because it asked me which Ethereum wallet I wanted to use the first time we did this. Let's see if I can do it this time. Still, doggone it. How do I get out of this? Okay. All right. Well, screw this. Sorry. I'll have to figure it out some other time. I don't have time to troubleshoot live. But there's got to be a way to sign out of that account and use my wallet to sign into a different account. That's kind of kind of frustrating. There's got to be a way to do it. How do you sign out? And where is it? Okay, here. How do I sign out? Huh. Just doesn't seem to be a way to do it. Huh. Okay. Yeah, because it definitely asked me which Ethereum account I wanted to use just a minute ago. Huh. Okay. Let me see. Maybe if I enter my Ethereum app here and hit refresh. No, it's not going to give me any joy. Doggone it. Anywho. All right. So when it says, it'll say in progress. After you verify, it'll ask you to enter your code, and then it'll say that it's in progress. And then you'll get to a part where it says claim. There'll be a button that says claim. Now that could take 30 days. So, and it tells you, flat out that it could take 30 days during the process. Hey guys, CryptoDad here. Let's see here. We'll get there. Okay, there it says in progress. I kind of showed you how to do it on the phone. I don't know which one I used. I guess I did use the Stax. Right, I wish I'd have chosen it the first time. Right, and then at the end it says in progress. Mine said 15 days, but I read somewhere else it could be 30 days. And then you'll have a claim button. And then that is when you hit that you tell it which Bitcoin wallet you want to connect to. That's my assumption because I haven't actually done it yet. So I did this on the 13th. Oh, it said the 13th. So maybe tomorrow I'll be able to claim. We'll see. If I can figure out how to switch back to my Stax from my Flex. There's got to be a way to do it. And if I'm not live, I'd figure it out in like 2 minutes. But when I'm live, I get frustrated. I can't just do it live. So I did want to talk about this whole trying to do a restore. So the first thing we'll do, yeah, my children are getting big. We did not see the bull. Kenny asked me if I had seen the bull. That's one of the things we missed. We didn't get to the Chrysler building. There are so many things that to see in New York, and we didn't get to see everything, but we did. Left toolbar, my ledger. Okay. Let's do that. Get back to the Stax. I'll do that. Okay, so now I'm back at the Stax. So if I go back here, is it going to ask me the Stax? No. It will not. Yeah, I don't know. I really just don't understand why I can't just log out of this thing. Oh, I guess I did. All right, let's sign into the Stax and see what happens. All right, and then I need to sign. It said delete account. It was like deleting, and it wasn't want to delete anything. Okay, it wants me to open the Ethereum app. And then sign the message on the device again. So now we're on the Stax. This is just kind of a weird, do I want to delete my account? I don't delete it. I just wanted to sign out of it. Okay, there you go. So I have 20, because I did 2 of these. I did one from my computer and one from my phone. So when this claim button lights up, which it should, but it doesn't have a countdown to say you have 1 day left, which would be helpful, but it doesn't. So when the time has passed, I'm not like really keeping an eye on this, but I guess if you were waiting for $70 worth of a Bitcoin, you'd be more, hey, where is it? But all 15 days, 30 days, just be patient, and it will eventually, once it shows that it's in progress, it will eventually have a claim button, and you'll be able to claim your rebate, right, in Bitcoin. Right, so I have nothing claimed yet, and I have $20 in progress. And there you go. It's weird because, they use the... See, I've already done 2 vouchers. Oh, okay, so it does say 1 day. All right, so over here in the redeem vouchers, it shows that I'll be able to claim both of these tomorrow. Maybe next week I'll do the claim so you can see how that works. Or maybe I'll do a video on that. So let's generate a mock seed phrase that we can use. Because I'm not going to just show you one of my seed phrases, but I do need to kind of show you the words so you can see what we're dealing with here. So this is a 24-word seed phrase. It's, of course, random and empty, right? And I'm going to paste it over here in a text file so I can get a look at it. And we'll just assume that I'm trying to do a restore using this seed phrase. So let's take a look at it here. Now, one of the things that you might have done when you wrote, if this was your official seed phrase, you might have done something weird like wrote the wrong word. Instead of gift, we wrote give. The human brain is capable of all sorts of weird stuff, right? You might see a word and just write it down incorrectly. And that could be a problem. But if you're comparing it to the word list, let's go down here. I don't see the word list. Let me just do this. So let's say that I did, when I saw the word gift on my screen, because you don't, when you are initializing a hardware wallet, these words are being presented to you on your device, right? So you see the word gift and you write down the word give. So if you were going through all of these and looking for perhaps to double check all of these words, let's look in G. And the word that we should have written was gift, but we wrote give by mistake. Well, G-I-V, okay. Look at that. The word give is not in the list at all. So you could check and say, hey, look, the word give, if I wrote this word down incorrectly, and I'm using my piece of paper to restore, and I get invalid seed phrase, and then I go back through my list again, word by word, and check if each word is in the official list or not, and I get to the word that I wrote, give, and I see, look, G-I-V-E is not in the list. But another four-letter word that starts with G-I is in the list. So I must have written down the wrong word, and I should have been gift and not give, right? So that's one way that you might be able to fix your problem. Now, let's look at the ledger Stax has a pretty clear, the ledger Stax and the ledger Flex have a pretty clear screen, and the words are presented in a much easier to read format than a ledger Nano S Plus or the ledger X. So let's take a look at those. Sorry, how long was I out? I don't know, when did I do that? Let me see here. Obviously not too long, because I didn't get too many complaints there. I noticed that my mic was muted there. I must have caught it before I actually talked. Okay. All right, so I think we're okay now. So as we start entering our seed phrase, hopefully this thing will come into focus for us here. Do me a favor. There it is. All right, so let me get this seed phrase going. Yeah. So our first word is citizen. All right, so we'll start to type. We have 24 words. Let's go to C. All right. Okay. So CI was enough for them to say, okay, now we're at words, right? So I need to get to use the right button to get to my word is citizen, right? That's the word I want. But it's quite easy to accidentally just click the wrong word, right? So you're at your word, you see your word is citizen, but maybe you click too early, or maybe you slide to the next word accidentally, and then you click it, and now you've entered a wrong word, even though you had the right word written down correctly. Your fingers, you did a typo on the device when you were confirming your word. Notice there, when I clicked that word, it didn't ask me, hey, is this your word? Yes or no, or confirm, okay, nothing like that. All I did was I was on top of the word, I clicked both buttons, and then the word disappeared. And that, I think, is happening to a lot of people, is that they are entering the wrong word mistakenly right on the device, even though they have the correct word written down. Right? So I just kind of wanted to show you these two. Whoops, this is my mouse. Let's go back over here. Let's see. I believe it was here. Yes. So this is a video I did on Restore, right? And so I just got this comment yesterday or the day before, it's 18 hours ago. Hi, I'm trying to restore my crypto to a new ledger using the 24-word phrase, but it says invalid. Am I missing something? As I'm pretty sure my words are correct, right? And then he's asking me how he can replace the screen on his previous device. So it is possible that he did write his words down incorrectly. And there's no way he can get back to the correct seed phrase that he should have written down correctly. It is possible that he misspelled one of the words, or he wrote one of the words down, and doing a quick comparison to the official mnemonic seed phrase list, he might be able to figure out which word he wrote down incorrectly. Or he might be able to just try again on his device, and this time just triple check every time you navigate back and forth on the device. Make sure you are clicking both buttons on the exact word, right? It's possible that you see the word, and then instead of clicking both buttons, you accidentally click to the right or to the left, and then you somehow mishmash and get one of those words in your 24 list has just been entered incorrectly, right? So you might want to go back and check that. Barring all of that, perhaps he has completely, he's written his words down wrong, and there's no way to get back the original seed phrase, the one he should have written down. He can go back to his working device that has a dim screen and replace his screen. Now, I don't know. I've never done this before. I don't recommend it. But if you still have access to a working device, then what you need to do there is get access and then transfer your crypto off. But the problem here is that there are many people that have a Ledger Nano S, the old Ledger Nano S, and that device is completely unusable. And so your only recourse is your 24-word seed phrase. Now, if you've lost that seed phrase, you're in deep doo-doo, right? Crypto's basically gone. But if you have a seed phrase that you wrote down and you're getting invalid seed phrase, first check the list, check the word list, and against every word that you wrote down. Sometimes your I might look like an L, or your U might look like an O. I had a guy that he had written down the word done, right? So if you look here, D-O-N-E, is not in the list, right? So, okay, he had written down the word D-O-N-E and it was not in the list. So what I did was I looked through the list for another 4-letter word very similar to done. And you know what I found? Dune. D-U-N-E. Almost identical to the word done if you wrote your U very messy and it looked like an O. Or you looked at the word Dune on your device and your eyes weren't that great and that U looked like an O to you as you were reading it off your device and you thought it was done and you wrote down D-O-N-E instead of D-U-N-E, right? So the first recourse, if the only thing between you and your crypto is a seed phrase and a new device that's giving you an invalid phrase, go back and look at the 24-word seed phrase list. That might be the answer. And then if everything checks out and yes, your phrase is correct, it seems to be written down correctly, go back again and try to very carefully do your restore on your device and make sure that each word, that when you click confirm, when you click those 2 buttons, that it is indeed the word that you're reading off your piece of paper and not you've accidentally clicked the wrong word on input, right? So check your phrase, your written phrase against the word list, or go back and carefully try to re-enter your words once again, right? Hey, if you're dealing with thousands and thousands of dollars worth of crypto, you know, you're not going to give up easily, right? I know this stuff is tedious, but you got to get access to your crypto, right? And for those of you who are running, I did a video before on due diligence. Let's see there. How far long ago was that? Due diligence, right? I did a video on due diligence, which is what you should do when you first set up your device to verify that your seed phrase was in fact written down correctly. There is a seed phrase check app that you can use on the device to double check your seed phrase. And also you can, when you first set up your device, put a little bit of crypto in there, wipe the device and do a test restore. And if it does a test, if the restore is successful, then you've confirmed that your phrase was written down correctly and that the phrase is good and that you'll be able to use it when you need it, right? And then after you've done your due diligence, then you can, load it up with a bunch of crypto. So, but crypto is not easy. You have to be very careful when you're doing self-custody. You can't be careless. You can't just like write it down in a hurry. You know, you have to be very patient and mindful when you're setting up your device. Write it down carefully, double check it. And if you get into that situation where perhaps you're pretty sure you wrote down the words correctly, but you're getting invalid seed phrase, check your written words against the official word list, or just try to re-enter carefully, making sure that every time you click those buttons that you are in fact entering the word you intend to enter and not by accidentally entering the wrong word. I didn't reveal my PIN, did I? No. If I entered that PIN, that 4523, that's like my quick PIN, right? My real PIN is 8 digits. So I don't know if I accidentally showed you the PIN I was entering. I might have. Yeah. Let's see. JDO note. Oh, JDO, thank you for being here, JDO. Sorry to hear about your experience with Tangem. I didn't get a chance to reply to your email. I did star it. JDO has a phone that the Tangem app claims is not compatible with his phone, even though his phone has NFC. So something to be aware of when dealing with Tangem devices. I don't know if there's a way to if they have a phone list or not on the Tangem site before you make your purchase. I don't know. I don't know that they would take a card back after you've had it opened. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that that happened to you. Let's see. Anybody else? 2.5 hour commutes each way every day. Yeah. I had an Uber that I ended up, it was like $100 just going from lower Manhattan to Midtown at 4:30. We were like, oh, it's 4:30. Let's go check out Rockefeller Center. After, and we were, it took so long to get over there. But yeah, I mean, living in New York, is just, it would have to be quite a bit of headache if you're commuting back and forth during rush hour. I can only imagine. So let's see. Has anyone had any issues with Flare network portal and the Ledger wallet showing blind signing warning on the screen when until recently the Ledger used to show the complete destination address? Ledger now has blind signing warnings to sort of cover their butts. But it doesn't interfere with functionality. It's just slightly different than maybe what you were used to. You can bypass those blind signing warnings. It'll just say, hey, you're about to do blind signing. And then there is an option to just continue. So it shouldn't hinder you from using blind signing at all. It's just the interface is slightly different now. They just added that. It didn't used to warn you. It just used to give you an error message and you needed to know that you needed to go into the settings and set blind signing. Now, even if you have blind signing enabled, you'll get that warning that says, hey, you're about to do blind signing. And then it's real scary. It's like go to safety or something. But then at the bottom, it's like just bypass this or continue to blind sign or whatever. It's just like the warning on cigarette packages, or bottles of alcohol. It just covers their butt. So, okay, yeah, I know it's dangerous. I'm going to drink anyway, yeah, I know I could get cancer. I'm going to smoke anyway. And kind of the same thing with the Ledger, yeah, I know I'm using blind signing, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, horns. Although the one thing I learned about driving in New York is that, it's difficult and there are a lot of people that cut you off. But I ran into several situations where I was in the wrong lane and I knew that I needed to cut somebody off and get in. People use their horns in New York, but it's kind of like, hey, you honk. We had an Uber driver, right? This bus was starting to change lanes. And the Uber driver was like, hey, honk, honk, I'm right here. And the bus driver saw him. And then the Uber driver kind of backed off and let him come in anyway. So it's all like, hey, I'm here. Go ahead. It seems like there might be some people that get really angry, but it just seemed like the general atmosphere or sentiment when driving in New York was like, there's a lot of honking. There's a lot of people cutting in and getting cut off and, you're cutting other people off, but it's sort of done. It's like, okay, it's just a necessary thing. And there's not a whole lot of anger, and that kind of was a good lesson for me because here in Michigan, there's a lot of people driving around that really make me mad. And after being in New York in my car for a couple of days, I'm kind of like, hey, just live and let live. And, I don't know. It was just a good lesson in the mindset of driving, even though it was very stressful. Let's see. Don't see any more questions. Enjoy the Masters, Kenny, and thank you again for the news. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed my little breakdown of the seed phrase issue, the invalid seed phrase issue, because that could be a heartbreak. That could be the only thing between you and your crypto. So, but there are ways to deal with that. Hopefully, checking your written phrase against the official word list, or carefully re-entering, making sure that your words are indeed correct as you're entering them, might be the difference between heartache and relief. So we'll see. Let's see where we got. What do we got here? Not this one. Oh, where'd this go? Oh, I guess I'm just trying to say. I did have a stream ending, which I think looked like this. Yes. And then that card, stream is ending, is, yeah, I just recently reinstalled everything on my computer, so I had to get all this. All right, guys. So thank you again. I will be back next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks again, everyone that asked questions. Thanks, JDO and Dan, for moderating. Good to have both of you back. JDO, I understand when you're not here. You got a lot going on in your life, and thanks for filling me in. And but it's always good to have you here, and I always thank you in absentia anyway when you're not here. So you're always in our hearts and minds, JDO. And thank you, everyone that asked questions. If I fail to answer your question, shoot me an email at thecryptodad@gmail.com. One word, thecryptodad. And if you don't remember, just scroll down to the bottom of the description. My email and all my social media contacts are there. So thanks again, and hope to see you guys.